Doug Marrone opts out, and the Bills have to look for a new coach. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bills Talk. Dylan's here. I am
Hello.
Brandon, and Happy New Year to everyone. Hello, Dylan.
Hello, Brandon. Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm good, and I guess this decision, a couple hours ago made me very relaxed, very happy, and now we can get this off season and this franchise really turned around and ready to go. But yeah, with Marrone, I have nothing personal. I never do with any head coach. I look and see what I think on the field, and 4th and 1 decisions, some clock management at times, the stupid kickoff specialist, just not knowing where Jerry Hughes is. Jerry Hughes is against Denver. I know I'm missing more, but a lot of things don't add up to me with him being a head coach, and I don't know. He just seemed like he wanted power. I don't know. Him and Whaley didn't seem to be on the right terms. So I guess it was just time for everyone to move on. I guess. What do you think?
Well, you covered the bases with him. There was just being an NFL coach nowadays. You need to have a great strategic mind, which he did not have. Like you said, 4th and 1 decisions, time management. The Hughes thing had my head shake. If you do that as an NFL, why are you still an NFL coach? You should be on top of everything. He said in the press conference he didn't know that he was benched. I just thought that was ridiculous. Either he knew and didn't, was all for it, or something was up there. Either way, I don't know. That was terrible. Great motivator, great leader, but as an NFL coach, you need more than that. You need to follow through. You need to know your statistics. You need to know the strategy going into it. And he didn't have any of that. And honestly, see you on the way out, Doug. But we need to upgrade.
Yeah, best of luck to him. I thought he did under the circumstances. The head coach, not head coach, quarterback position. Having Orton and Manuel, I think a lot, if not some, goes on Whaley on that. But I just think he made it harder for himself. I'm obsessed with the 4th and 1 decisions. I really am, because it makes it that easier as a head coach. The stats really tell you, and even deferring to field goals, he seems like he was obsessed with field goals, even though he said we want touchdowns. Just the whole thing of being an NFL head coach, and I just can't wait till that tide turns where teams will actually have 4 downs to get 10 yards. I just want a coach that can set that trend and go for it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But just have every opportunity to win. And the whole Mike Williams thing as well. I don't know. I heard a lot of rumors about him and the Jets, or the main reason why because of some kind of football czar. Bill Polian might be coming in. I don't know. I guess that's what it is. But me, I'm very excited. What do you think about Bill Polian?
Bill Polian, a lot of people, first word that comes up is the old Buffalo Bills. And even people now saying that bringing in Frank Wright, whatever position that would be in. And the Pagulas brought back LaFontaine, Ted Nolan in the bunch, so they have something about bringing back guys, and they had positive outlooks for both teams. So at one point you can't hate that. And a lot of people are going to say that we're living in the past. And the game has evolved a lot since Polian was with the Bills, but he built teams in Indianapolis, Carolina. So it's hard to be mad at that, especially when he's just doing the football operations. So he's not really in a lot of control with the players. That will still revolve around Whaley, whoever the head coach will be. To talk amongst, will Whaley be here? that will also be Polian's
Well,
decision.
that's a huge thing that I kind of want to talk about. Brandon and Whaley. What do you think? I mean, earlier before, I think around, I would like to say noon, 1 or 2. There was thoughts that Oakland really wanted Russ Brandon. I don't know if for the business side or for the football side. I think he should stay on the business side. I think he's put enough footprint on the football operations. Whaley, I really like Whaley. I know he has his ups, he has his downs. Giving up the first round pick, maybe the manual. But if you're going to tie him to the manual, then you have to tie him to Kiko Alonso, Robert Woods, Chantrell Henderson hasn't looked bad. He stole Jerry Hughes.
Yep.
And you get a good wide receiver in Sammy Watkins, but you're also looking for that quarterback, which he didn't do. So I wouldn't be upset if Whaley was let go, but I think he's a very good football evaluator.
Yeah, and like I said, I think going back to what I said, Polian, I think he knows the game. It's evolved, and I think whether he is old. He's aged, but I think he knows that the game has evolved. He knows what we would need to bring in for a general manager if Whaley decided to go, or if he likes Whaley's ideas moving forward. I think that if that is the plan, and like you said, late January, that it will be announced. I think that it will be a positive. I just don't know. Haven't heard too much else about the situation to really go forth with it. So a lot of rumors going around, but nothing to really confirm other than Polian coming in.
Yeah, and that's what we have to watch out for because, again, 3 hours, maybe 5 hours before he opted out, it was basically a 95% chance. It was a high percent chance that he was going to not even use that clause.
Right. I was surprised.
And the whole Bill Polian thing comes up, and I don't know what to think about rumors anymore and what I see on Twitter, unless it was from the major guys, Schefter, Ian Rappaport, Jay Glazer, Albert Breer. But Vic Carucci said one of the main reasons Marrone left was criticism and lack of support from local media. You can find that at buffalonews.com and look at that. I'm telling you, if he wants to go to the Jets, good luck in dealing with that media.
Oh yeah, we were. Bills fans can be harsh, but if you go into New York with the Jets, good luck to you, buddy, because you're gonna have to change a lot if you're gonna go there.
Yeah, and then he still gets $5 million for 2015. So I guess good job on his agent's part because he's going to get 5 and maybe another 5, maybe even a little bit more. I think I get kind of mixed feelings from the Twitterverse from people outside of the Bills, like around the NFL, saying that, oh, look what he did in Buffalo. To be a hot commodity. And then I look around, Jets reporters say, really, Doug Marrone, are you kidding me?
Yeah, a lot of Jets reporters are, saying, how can you call this an upgrade? And all the fans are saying, this is awesome, but I don't know. I don't know too much in the mind of a Jets fan since I don't really follow anything, but I'm gonna have to side with your reporters there, and I don't know why people are getting so up high. I guess it's just the 9-7 record, but if you ask me, without knowing the record or the outcome of games, how I felt, we did not feel like a 9-7 team at all.
No, and I know your record are what you are, what your record says you are, blah blah blah. But I mean, it's just this year was so frustrating, and last year to me wasn't.
Yeah.
There was hope. I really liked Marrone. I liked what he was doing. I thought they were in games. They had a chance probably in New Orleans. There was a time there with Thad Lewis. He had Jeff Toole. They had a spot now. I know they got eliminated in Week 16, but there was just games where I just pulled my the hair out of my head. I was so frustrated, and just a whole difference from 2 years ago and a year ago. Total difference.
Oh yeah. And at the end of last season, even being 6-10, there was just a different feeling going into the off season. Like you said, you had hope. And what happened? Like I don't know when my mind turned. I don't know when it changed, but I mean, it was quick, and I had a fiery fierce over Doug Marrone after I was trying to defend him, trying to be on his upper side, but I mean, that really flipped. I mean, it flipped bad. Like, when I saw that he opted out, I almost couldn't believe it. Like, it changed my mood around. Let's just say that.
Yeah, and at the end, at the start of this offseason, I know we're going to get probably to the quarterback situation after, but I was really not excited at all. I was almost about to, tweet and write on Facebook, I'm done for a while talking about anything football. Just so frustrated until this comes out, and now there's new hope. But I guess we say that after every head coach gets fired or let go or whatever.
Yep.
This is a strange situation here, but he's supposed to be an offensive coach, and they just regressed. You can blame it on Hackett, but Marrone's the one that hired him. Marrone has had that power to oversee Hackett and try to make things better. There was a tweet out from Jeremy at WGR. The last game they targeted the Giants, targeted Odell Beckham Jr. 30 times. Maybe I'm mixing it up. But either way, the Bills it was 21 times. The Bills targeted Sammy Watkins over the month of December 30. Now that to me is very, very discouraging when I saw that. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, like you said, blame it on Hackett, but Marrone is the overseer on that. And, after a couple games, being Marrone, I mean, you need to say something about make a change if, you're not having any say in it. But you need to take charge on that. I mean, you spent a first-round pick on this guy. He's supposed to be a game changer, a difference maker, and you're not letting him have any opportunity to do that. So blame it on who you want, but that needed to change. And at the end of the day, Doug Marrone is the head coach. He would need to make that change. So, I don't know who you're gonna blame that on, but as an offensive guy, you have a guy there that can be a huge playmaker, and you're letting him sit there as a decoy, as just a person running around. I don't know, but that was just bad. I saw that tweet, and it made me shake my head. It really did.
Yeah, definitely. And we're gonna talk about head coaches who we like. What's around the Twitterverse and rumors and whatnot. But and then we'll get to the quarterbacks. But again, of course, it's gonna be a lot I hear is Frank Wright. I have no problem with it. I think he did a good job in San Diego. Of course, they have Phillip Rivers, but I think when I looked at them, the play calling. I know they were run heavy. I wanna throw it as much as possible, but if you can mix it in with a run, I think he's smart at that position. And he knows how to run an offense. I wouldn't mind that. Just give me your thoughts on Frank Wright and maybe other coaches that you would like to see as a thought.
Yeah, I mean, Frank Wright, I wouldn't have too much of a problem. Don't know too much about him, so I won't, I can't say, give it a full-out opinion. I would like to see him back. I'm sure a lot of fans, majority of the fans would. He's still around in the game, so he knows how it's evolved. I'd like to see him, but outside of that, I really don't want a Gailey type hire or Marrone type hire where it's their first NFL action. I want a guy who's been around, who knows the game. Who it is? I'm trying to think of the name. I saw the tweet earlier. Tom Gamble, who was just actually fired today by Philly. Close with Chip Kelly, obviously with Philly. So I'd like to see him. Wherever they would put him, I would like to see him. I want a guy who's into the game, NFL, and I said it, cares at least about advanced stats, somewhat, if not a whole bunch, because I love that, and I want a coach who can put a strategy around that. And whoever that is, get him.
Now, what do you, of course, when it comes to Bills fans, here are a bunch of tweets. What do you think about Bill Cowher? Been out of the 58 head coaching hirings since he was out of Pittsburgh. He hasn't interviewed for one of them. I don't know. Maybe the times have passed him. What do you think? What do you think about maybe potentially Bill Cowher?
That's tough. I'd be really on the fence about that because he's a winner. He won a Super Bowl, obviously. Part of me would say, yeah, I would like him, but another part of me would want to say, let's move on to I guess quote unquote younger guy, but I mean that doesn't mean anything. I don't care how young he is. Just a person. I want a fresh person. I mean, I want a person who not necessarily is going to be a rookie head coach coming in, but someone who has been around the game and is ready to make that jump forward to be a head coach. I don't know. If you told me today that Bill Cowher was the Bills head coach, I'd be like, cool, sweet. But then I'd also look back a little bit. I think I would be a fan overall. I think our defense is great, but when it all comes down to, I think, a quarterback. So once we can find one, then if Bill Cowher is the guy, then Bill Cowher is the guy. Is what.
And again, the rumors on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Saying that Bill Cowher is in Buffalo right now, in Orchard Park, dining with the Perulas. I don't know. Until again, a major outlet comes out and says that he is in Western New York.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy that, but I mean, the guy's won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He took Big Ben. Really, he was there for Big Ben. Went to 2 Super Bowls actually. So, but again, that was 10 years ago when they won it. So, it's a totally different thing. Now, do you think again? Ian Rappaport said, if polling's coming, it's not going to be until late January. So, are they going to wait that long to find a head coach? I don't know. Would Polian want Cowher? I don't know. I don't know. Just a lot of uncertainty, which is very exciting for me. Now to the quarterbacks. Obviously, Uncle Rico, Kyle Orton, retired on Monday. Just left, basically. Some players knew about it, some didn't. Regardless of whether he was back or not, whether he retired or not, for me, they had to get somebody. And it seemed like Marrone was really liked Kyle Orton as an idea of heading in to as a starter, which to me was a real mistake. But again, there's nothing out on the wire. Unless if you try to trade someone like a Cutler or an RG3. And then you would probably have to give up picks. So for the first time forever, even considering Lossman, Edwards, Fitzpatrick, they're in a real hole here. Dylan, they're in trouble. They're in a hole because I see Matt Moore, I see Sanchez, I see all of this. Maybe I might be overreacting. I could be in a few months saying, well, I overreacted there, but to me, they're in a hole.
I don't think it's much of an overreaction. It's finding a quarterback. As Bills fans, we know it's a tough thing. You don't just get handed one unless, obviously you got that number 1 pick for a guy. So when you're in a situation with the Bills, where you never have that super high pick for a quarterback, you always seem to be always in the bad timing with that stuff. You're always left with average draft pick, signing someone who is average. You're not going to find a great elite quarterback in free agency, so you can forget about that. Trading, awfully hard to get one. So, and especially when you're trading a quarterback. That obviously shows that there's a negative side to it. So it's a scary situation to be. As a GM, as a head coach, and it's going to be tough to find that quarterback, especially with how great your defense is. Um, I don't know what they do. That all depends on what head coach they get. If they stay with Whaley, um, there's a lot of possibilities with trading, signing quarterbacks that I'd be fine with. Especially with this defense that we have, that I think could take us to the playoffs. Um, Maybe that doesn't look too great long term, but you got to do what you got to do if you want to make a winning team around here, because you don't have a lot of time. It's next year. It's got to be done. You can't be saying, well, we'll give this guy a year or two. No, it's got to be now. So what your plan is, it's going to be tough. Whatever they shake up, I think they will be obviously looking into trades. Jay Cutler, obviously RG3. I think they'll be active looking in free agency, but I also like to see them, take a stab at a later quarterback in the draft. Not necessarily taking one early on to make him the savior or anything, but later on in the draft, just so there's more of a battle in training camp, just to see what we have going. It's going to be tough, but I think they're going to try everything to get something done, because they need to. They need to. You can't go in with Manuel and Tool as your top two guys.
Yeah, this position, this whole situation with the quarterback, with this franchise, will be the death of me, because I think, unless if Manuel improves tremendously, from what I heard from Whaley, he basically danced around that, saying that he's their guy, and now with the new head coach, you don't know what's going to happen. So for me, they need a current guy and they need a future guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think the quarterback in 2015 is going to be the quarterback in 2020, 2021. So I don't know. Like I said, they're in a bind. So for me, right now, for 2015, if you want to try to get into the postseason, you just need, for me, an average quarterback.
Right.
Orton was way below average. When he had that hot start, he was 3-1. He was playing average, and they had a shot. They were 5-3, and then stuff went down.
Yeah.
When he played terrible, that offense was bad, and you can find a quarterback for the future, probably in 2016 if you want, but you need a quarterback now to try, because this defense I think, is pretty young still. I know you have Kyle Williams, you kind of have Mario Williams who's up there, linebacking core is young, especially with Kiwu coming back, but this defense at its prime stage, you need to find that quarterback now. Just to me, it just has to be average.
Yeah. It's been 15 years since our last postseason. Right now, you don't worry about that franchise guy. You worry about finding a guy right now. You can worry about get a winning state. I mean, make it to the playoffs. I'm a Bills fan. I don't right now with our defense, just looking for a quarterback. I just want to get there. I just want to be in a playoff game, watch a football playoff game with the Bills involved. Once that happens, then we can start looking for a franchise guy again. But until then, right now in the state we are in, we need a guy right now. So whether he's 30 years old, 25, 32, 33, I don't care. Get him on this team if he can make that difference. Because the longer we wait, the tougher it's going to become, because then we're back into the same old Bills mindset where we are bad timing with looking for quarterbacks. And like you said, unless Manuel improves tremendously, I don't see it happening. You need to find that guy now.
I mean, isn't Brett Favre still walking around? With the he's.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we basically covered everything, and this is just the start of the off season, so it's going to be very, very interesting from one Bills drive. So, we talked about quarterbacks, and talked about the type of coaches that we would like to see, or that are realistic, and there's other openings as well. Atlanta, obviously, Jets. I know there's two more. So again, stick with us at BuffaloSportsNetwork.com, and I'm a Buffalo Bills fan on Facebook. Dylan, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Other than I'm actually ready and excited for the offseason to start. I'm ready. Let's go. That's all. Happy New Year.
Yeah, some of our we haven't really talked about Shorts as a head coach as we
Right.
as we end this. But before we do, what do you think about Shorts? I'm not a fan of it.
I said that if he was promoted to head coach, I wouldn't want it. But if they did end up announcing it, I'd be in that fine stage. Like, all right, fine. Not a fan of it, but if it ended up happening, it wouldn't take a toll on me. Let's just say that.
Yeah, just some of our comments from you guys. Chris wants Shorts as head coach. James says Rex Ryan.
No.
Again, Marrone is rumored to the Jets. Justin wants Frank Wright. Clint wants Shorts.
No, I think I just think Shorts is at defense. I don't think you touch him there.
Yeah. Other people say I can't believe he left. Other people say wow. Someone Judy says kind of upset, and changes are coming at One Bills Drive. So just keep it locked down to us, and we'll be with you guys all throughout the long off season, but exciting off season ahead. All right, Dylan, thanks, and Happy New Year, everyone.